melody of our hearts. There are moments in life when everything seems to fall into place, when the universe, with all its chaos and unpredictability, offers a brief window of perfect harmony. For Emma and Ethan, that moment came one crisp autumn evening at a small music festival in the heart of their city. Emma had always loved music. It was the soundtrack of her life, the one thing that could always make her feel at home, no matter where she was. She had been attending concerts since she was a little girl, her first memory of live music being the sound of a street performer playing his guitar on a rainy afternoon in Paris. Since then, music had been her constant companion. That evening, the festival was vibrant with energy. The air was filled with laughter, the scent of fresh popcorn, and the hum of conversation. People were scattered around the open field, some sitting on blankets, others dancing to the music. Emma wandered through the crowd, a soft smile on her face as she soaked in the atmosphere, feeling the familiar excitement that always came with live performances. As she passed by one of the tents, the sound of an acoustic guitar caught her attention. She looked inside and saw him, Ethan. He was sitting on a stool, his back slightly hunched over his guitar, eyes closed as he strummed the strings. There was something in the way he played that made it seem as though he wasn't just playing a song, but telling a story. The music flowed from him effortlessly, and Emma was drawn to it. It wasn't just the music that pulled her in, it was the raw emotion in his performance, something she hadn't heard in a long time. Without thinking, Emma stepped closer, standing at the entrance of the tent, not wanting to disturb the moment but unable to pull away. Ethan finished the song, and for a second, there was silence. The crowd clapped, but Emma stayed back, too moved to join in. She didn't know why, but she felt a sudden urge to talk to him. "Your music is incredible," she said, stepping forward with a shy smile. I haven't heard anything like it in a long time." Ethan looked up, his eyes meeting hers. They were a deep shade of green, warm and inviting. He smiled softly, a faint blush spreading across his cheeks as if he hadn't expected anyone to speak to him. "Thank you," he replied, his voice low but filled with warmth. "It's just something I've been working on for a while. It's kind of personal." "I can tell," Emma said, stepping into the tent, drawn to the vulnerability in his words. "You have a way of making it feel like it's more than just music. It's like you're sharing your soul." Ethan chuckled, his gaze softening. "That's a pretty accurate description. Music is how I express things I can't say with words." Emma's heart skipped a beat at his honesty. She knew exactly what he meant. Music had always been her refuge, her way of dealing with the things she couldn't talk about. "I'm Emma," she said, extending her hand. "I didn't mean to interrupt, but I couldn't help but listen." "I'm Ethan," he replied, taking her hand. His touch was warm, and for a brief moment, Emma felt a spark of connection, as if they had known each other far longer than the few minutes they had been talking. They spent the rest of the evening together, chatting between songs. Emma learned that Ethan was a struggling musician, trying to find his place in the world while pouring his heart into his music. He had been playing at small festivals like this one for years, hoping that one day, someone would hear him and offer him the opportunity to share his songs with the world. As the evening drew to a close, Emma didn't want to leave. She had felt something tonight, something deep and genuine, that she hadn't felt in a long time. It wasn't just the music, it was the person behind it, the way he seemed to understand her in a way no one else did. "Hey, would you like to get some coffee?" Ethan asked, as if reading her mind. "There's this little cafe nearby. I know it's late, but I'd like to talk more." Emma smiled, her heart fluttering. "I'd like that." They walked to the cafe, the cool night air making her feel alive, and once they were seated, they talked for hours. They shared stories of their lives, their dreams, their fears, and the music that had shaped them. They discovered that they both had been to the same high school, yet their paths had never crossed. They spoke about their favorite songs, the ones that made them feel something, the ones that made them cry, and the ones that brought them hope. As the night wore on, Emma realized something. Ethan wasn't just the musician she had admired from afar, He was someone she had been waiting for. Someone who understood the language of music, of heartache, and of hope. Someone who could make her feel seen, heard, and appreciated, even in a crowded room. Do you ever feel like you're on the verge of something big? Ethan asked, his eyes searching hers. Emma thought about it for a moment before answering. Yeah, I do. But it's not about the big moments, Ethan. It's about the little ones, like this. Like sitting here with you and talking until the world feels like it stopped spinning. He smiled at her, his eyes twinkling with something more than just admiration. You're right. It's the moments like these that make everything else worth it. The days turned into weeks, and what started as a chance encounter blossomed into something neither of them had expected. They began spending more and more time together, sharing their lives, their thoughts, and their music. They wrote songs together, collaborated on projects, and slowly but surely, their connection deepened. It wasn't always easy. There were times when their differences threatened to pull them apart, moments of doubt and fear that they would never be enough for each other. But they always came back to the music, to the raw honesty of their hearts, and they worked through it. One evening, after a long day of writing together, Ethan took Emma's hand and led her outside. The night was clear, the stars twinkling above them. He stopped in front of the old oak tree by the riverbank, the same tree they had sat under that first evening. I know we haven't known each other for long, he said softly, but I feel like I've known you forever. You've shown me a world I never even knew I needed. Emma looked at him, her heart swelling with emotion. I feel the same way, Ethan. I think we were meant to meet. I don't know what the future holds, but I know I want you in it. Ethan smiled, his hand brushing against her cheek. Then let's see where this journey takes us. And with that, they kissed. The kiss that sealed a promise, not just to each other, but to the music, to the love that had grown between them, and to the future that lay ahead.